400 plus years of atrocious acts. We suffering PTSD throughout our generations from the trauma and war crimes committed against us. We still being lynched. We still being hunted. We still oppressed. Kissing our boots is the least you devils can do. Gotta watch my step, cause our enemies cowardly creep, and they hunt us when we go on the streets, full of lies and deceit. See the beast trying to devour the sheep. Wicked devils love to prey on the weak, so you gotta be wise and see the lies in their philosophies, living out these biblical prophecies. They press their knees on the dying man. We went from chains to prison, and from the pot to a frying pan. At the border, families torn apart. These crackers gotta suffer, Lord forgive me for my corner thoughts. They hung us while they took our ladies to rape, then turned around and used our babies for bait. I can't think straight. How much more it's gonna take? They evil crimes justify the hate. Nigga, that's the proof. I thank the Lord for this truth. I tell these crackers this what they can do. Devil, kiss our boots. Do what the scriptures say to do, so my people know these prophecies are true. Devil, kiss our boots and show an act of humility. 400 plus years of captivity. Kiss our boots for all the pain and oppression, for all the lies and deception. Devil, kiss our boots. Get on your knees and your hands and lick up the dust, you understand?
Hey yo, I don't think they understand. We Yasha Allah, Prince of the Power, mic in my hand. These heathen nations, they gon' serve us and bow down. In Texas, we gon' milk these Gentiles, it's Cowtown. Israelites gon' take the kingdom, Esau in trouble too. You quick to say that you my brother, we gon' be lords over you. You a liar and a thief, you gon' have to pay for that. You a dog, get on all fours, you a snake, a rat. You gon' learn to follow orders from these priests and prophets. Righteousness gon' cover the earth and can't no devil stop it. You say you sorry, but I ain't got nothing to say to you till you apologize the way the Bible tell you to. And I don't give a damn about your little children. All the love I got go to my nation and we building. The sons that afflicted us, they gon' bend the knee and behave. Bow down before the children are slain.
Devil, kiss our boots. Do what the scriptures say to do, so my people know these prophecies are true. Devil, kiss our boots and show an act of humility. 400 plus years of captivity. Kiss our boots for all the pain and oppression, for all the lies and deception. Devil, kiss our boots. Get on your knees and your hands and lick up the dust, you understand? This place completely a circus, defeat the purpose and them demons are lurking. I see my people hurting. I pray the Lord send them evils and curses and cut our enemies, no slack. With no remorse, they shoot us in our back. We in the midst of snares, don't dare make any fault, and forget about them lies that you were taught. With no regard for the old, nor show favor for our youth. These devils using us for target practice like we bulletproof. Committing mass genocide, or they throw us all in cages to the neighborhoods and gentrify. Prepare slaughter for their crimes, it's a death offense. And vengeance is the Lord, they for sure get their recompense. Here is the patience and the faith. They evil crimes justify the hate. Nigga, that's the proof. I thank the Lord for this truth. I tell these crackers this what they can do. Devil, kiss our boots. Do what the scriptures say to do, so my people know these prophecies are true. Devil, kiss our boots and show an act of humility. 400 plus years of captivity. Kiss our boots for all the pain and oppression, for all the lies and deception. Devil, kiss our boots. Get on your knees and your hands and lick up the dust, you understand? Devil, kiss our boots.
Hey, Shalom, Israel, with the Israelite School, Universal and Practical Knowledge. Start out on 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Your Honor. Today is the Houston Sunday Scripture Breakdown class. Today we're going to get into a topic. I've been getting a lot of questions about things that you really don't understand because you're not in the truth, about life and death, and certain scriptures that talk about life and death and how they don't understand it. So we're going to kind of get into that. We're going to kind of talk about what heaven and hell really is. General Muhammad was going to bring out a class last week about the fall of Babylon. And what you don't understand is the fall of Babylon is the rise of the kingdom of heaven. Because heaven and hell are conditions on earth. And when you stop looking for heaven in a place that when you stop thinking about hell and under the ground and heaven in the sky, then you can make heaven on earth as it is where the Most High dwell. So we're going to get into that so that you can get some understanding on those things. If you got any questions, y'all can type them in on Facebook and YouTube. If you got any questions about anything, just type them in, and I'll do my best to try to answer them. But as far as life and death is very spiritual, and it's not as carnal as the white man has taught us. When you think life and death in this world, you only think about living and dying, about being in the grave or not being in the grave. But you don't understand the spiritual aspect of it when it comes to you not being righteous means you are dead. You know what I mean? Like that TV show, The Walking Dead, is really talking about how people are walking around out here not knowing what the hell is going on. And they all clicking up and walking together, and they all just walking to their death. And that's what they doing. When them zombies, when they all click up and they all come together, they are just walking together until they can either eat somebody and make them die with them and become a zombie, or until they walk into the bullets. And that's what the demons on you want you to do. The demons on you want you to go and bite someone else so that you can make another zombie or just die. But never turn someone to life. Never give no one the antidote. And there is an antidote for death. You understand? And the antidote for death is this truth. You know what I'm saying? Christ said he's the way, the truth, and the light. And you don't understand what that means because your Christian pastor doesn't understand what it means. So if the teacher don't understand it, there's no way the student will understand it. So we're going to start with Deuteronomy 30 and 15. I'm about to give me Deuteronomy 30 and 15. And let's explain life and death in the scriptures. Go ahead. You two all. Go ahead.
Khan, this is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 30, verse 15.
Go ahead.
See, I have set before thee this day life and good, and death and evil.
Let me tell you something. This is the principal information. This is the beginning of wisdom. The beginning of wisdom is to understand this is what we would call milk. You know what I mean? And Moses set before us what?
See, I have set before thee this day life and good, and death and evil.
Now, with you just hearing that, erase the Christianity out of your mind. Erase the thoughts that you've been having all your life about what's life and death. According to the scriptures, in the spirit, what is life? Go ahead. Keeping the commandments. Because he said, this day I set before you life and good and death and evil. So what is death?
So like I said, if I could, the wickedness, not following the laws.
Not keeping the commandments. It's that simple. Your Christian pastor have you walking around dead because they tell you that life is done away with. That's what they teaching in church. The churches are teaching that life is done away with. The laws are done away with. The things that could bring you to life, the things that could make you have everlasting life. We're going to break that down too. The thing that can give you everlasting life is done away with. You understand? Keep reading.
Khan, verse 16. In that I command thee this day to love the Lord thy power, to walk in his ways, and to keep his commandments and his statutes and his judgments, that thou mayest live and multiply, and the Lord thy power shall bless thee in the land whither thou goest to possess it.
This is what life is. Life is being obedient and getting reward for being obedient. The rewards you are supposed to receive from the Most High is for your obedience. That's how this is supposed to work. But your pastor is telling you you don't have to worry about those rewards anymore, because you gonna get your reward where? Where's your rewards at?
So like if I could.
Go ahead.
In heaven?
In heaven. So where do you got to go to get it?
To heaven.
Nah, yeah, but what you got to do first?
You got to die, sir.
You got to die. So once you die, then you can have peace. Then you can get multiplied. You can get rewarded for whatever you've done that's good.
Right.
When in actuality, you are supposed to get rewarded for your good behavior right here.
Right.
Your good behavior is supposed to be beneficial to your life on earth. Right? Now, hold that scripture. Give me Deuteronomy 28:1.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy power, to observe and to do all his commandments,
Right.
which I command thee this day.
How many of them you have to do?
All his commandments.
You have to do them all. So in order to get life, Moses is teaching you how to get life by keeping all of the commandments. That's where life is. That is good. Like he said in chapter 30. Keep reading.
Khan, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy power will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
That's life. That's being multiplied. That is an abundant life. You will be above all nations. That means you won't be having to worry about paying rent and little small things that, paying your car note and your cell phone bill, because you'll be ruling over nations. So you wouldn't be worried about rent. You'll be worrying about, do you have enough food to feed this state, for the rest of the year? You'll be worrying about way bigger things than the things you have to worry about now. But the reason you have to worry about such minute and small things is because you are walking around in death. Now go back to 30.
Khan.
And read verse 17.
Khan, this is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 30, verse 17. But if thine heart turn away, so that thou wilt not hear, but shalt be drawn away and worship other powers, and serve them. Verse 18. I denounce unto you this day that ye shall surely perish.
You should what?
Ye shall surely perish.
Now, we've heard that before. Where have we heard you shall surely perish at? How about now?
So like I said, in John 3:16 it says, thou shalt not perish and have everlasting life.
But where have you heard you shall surely perish at? See if somebody online see it. It's got it. Where is it? It's somewhere in the scriptures where it say, if you read that again, the last part.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 30 verse 18. I denounce unto you this day that ye shall surely perish, and that ye shall not prolong your days upon the land, whither thou goest to possess, possess over Jordan to go to possess Salakia. Whither thou passest over Jordan to go possess it. I'm gonna look for it right now, sir.
Keep reading.
Come. Verse 19. I call heaven and earth to record this day against you.
Right.
That I have set before you life and death, blessing and cursing. Therefore choose life, that both thou and thy seed may live.
Now this should give you a full overview of what life and death is. He said, I call before you this day life and death, blessings and curses. Now, if you have everlasting life, then your life should be a life of what?
Righteousness.
Use the word that's in the scripture so I can't cut you.
Salakia.
Go ahead.
Good.
That ain't what's used in that part.
What was the question again, sir?
What is it that you have? What should you have? If you have everlasting life, you should have a life of what? Read that verse again. Read verse 19 again.
Khan. The book of Deuteronomy chapter 30 verse 19. I call heaven and earth to record this day against you, that I have set before you life and death, blessing and cursing. Therefore choose life, that both thou and thy seed may live.
So, if you choose life, if you choose life, you will have everlasting life, and your life will be full of what? Go ahead. Blessings. That's what's supposed to happen. Your blessings is supposed to come from your obedience. That is where your wealth comes from. That is where all, your children's safety, your health, all of that comes from your obedience. Now, if you don't be obedient, then what is your life going to be full of? Go ahead. Curses. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans live a life of death, a life of curses. Now go to Deuteronomy 28 and 15.
That's a lot too, sir. I had that precept that surely perish. Did you want it?
What? Tell me what it is.
It's Deuteronomy chapter 8.
That ain't what I wanted, but it might be good. But go back to Deuteronomy 28 first and 15, and we're going to go there.
28 and 15?
Come.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, thy power, Salakia, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
What's going to happen if you're not obedient to the Most High?
All these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
And you're going to be living a life of what?
Curses.
Also known as death. You're going to be the walking dead. That's why in the book of Ezekiel, it's the valley of dry bones. Those to a Christian would make you feel like it's skeletons laying in the field. And one day, breath is going to come on them, and they're going to stand up, and they're going to get skin, and they're going to walk around and be people again. But in the actuality, in the spirit of it, what is it saying is, our people are walking dead right now. They crackheads, they homosexuals, they thieves, they're murderers, they're liars, they are Christians, they're Muslims, and they are dead. And they are living a life of curses. Now, the scripture that I was talking about when I said you shall surely die is in the garden with Adam and Eve. When the Most High told Adam, find me that scripture where it say, this day you will surely die. Let me see where that's at. That should be in Genesis chapter 3.
Genesis 2 and 17.
2 and 17? Read it for me. Yeah, read that.
Come on, sir. This is the book of Genesis chapter 2, verse 17. But of the tree of knowledge of good and evil, thou shalt not eat of it.
Wait, read verse 7 first. Just so I can help you understand this. Read verse 7.
Come on. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 2, verse 7. And the Lord thy power formed man of the dust of the ground, and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life.
The what of life?
The breath of life.
What did the Lord breathe into Adam? Did the Lord, is this Adam being created? Go ahead.
When it says breath of life, it's talking about the laws, statutes, and commandments.
He gave him the laws. He gave him good. It didn't say anything else. He gave him the key to a life full of blessings. That's what he gave him. That's it. He gave him life. You finished that verse?
Sir.
Go ahead.
And man became a living soul.
And then Adam became a living soul. Now, go ahead, read 17.
Come on, it's the book of Genesis chapter 2, verse 17. But of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, thou shalt not eat of it. For in the day that thou eatest thereof, thou shalt surely die.
Now let me ask you a question. Adam did eat of that tree. And it said, in that day, he should surely die. What does that mean? Because a Christian would take this to say, this scripture is supposed to mean that as soon as he did this, he was supposed to die that day. It should be no more story about Adam. You see what I'm saying? He's supposed to die as soon as he ate of this other tree that the Lord said not to eat from. What happened? Go ahead.
So like sir, if I could, so now that he's eating of it, because all he knew at one point was the good.
Right.
So now that he's eating of this tree, now he shall surely die, meaning he's going to be living in curses.
Give yourself a hand. That's it. Now he's going to be living in curses. Now he's going to surely die. So after this, what happened? He had 2 sons. One was murdered by the other. He was kicked out of the garden. He was separated from the Most High. He started to live out curses. But he was alive. He wasn't in the ground. Hell didn't start for him when he died. Hell started for him when he sinned, when he didn't follow the Lord's instructions. So your oppressor teaches you that hell starts for you when your spirit leaves your body. Right. Hell starts for you when you disobey the Most High. And guess what? If hell starts when you disobey, then when does heaven start? Heaven starts when you do keep the commandments, when you do turn back to the Most High. But as long as you sinning, you shall surely die. You shall surely walk in the curses. You shall surely walk in death. Matter of fact, give me 2nd Ezra real quick. 2nd Ezra 3 and 5.
Khan, this is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 3, verse 5. Mm-hmm. And gavest a body unto Adam without soul.
Without a what?
Without soul.
At first, Adam was alive, but he didn't have a soul. He's going to explain. Keep reading.
Which was the workmanship of thine hands.
Which was the work. Go ahead.
And didst breathe into him the breath of life.
He didn't start living until the Most High put his spirit in him. Until the Most High gave him his culture. You are dead as blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans because you have no life in you. You have no culture. You have nothing good in you. You have been being fed death all of your life. You have been fed curses all of your life. You have been fed pork, crab, shrimp, and lobster, Christmas, Easter, birthdays, New Year's. You've been fed homosexuality, drugs, killing and robbing and destroying your people. You have been fed the thing that will never make you get the blessings, but it will make the curses speed up. Because the more you sin, the more you what? Go ahead.
Surely die.
You surely die. More and more and more. And you get deeper into hell. You get deeper into death. So now you are walking in the, like Captain Kahan said, he in the 5th chamber of hell. Well, you walking in the 55th chamber of hell because you are full of wickedness and death and demons. Adam did not become a living soul until the Most High breathed the breath of life on him. And the breath of life is these laws. That's what's good. That's the way you get out of this. And you learn these type of things in the Isupk and the Commanding General Yohana. You don't learn this anywhere else. Because we are the true priests and prophets of the Lord. That's what we're here to do. We're here to warn our people about death. We're here to warn you. We want you to get life. But you have to want life. And the problem is so many of our people are comfortable with death. That they just live in it. They thrive in it. And that's all they want. Now, go back to where we was at. Wait, now give me Baruch 4:1, Salaki, before we leave the Apocrypha.
This is the book of Baruch in the Apocrypha, chapter 4, verse 1. This is the book of the commandments of the power, and the law that endureth forever.
How long does this law endure?
Forever.
Your Christian pastor teaches you that the law is done away with.
Right.
They teaches you that the law expires. The thing that keeps you safe expires. The thing that makes your life a better thing, make you live in a better place, it runs out. So once it runs out, now The only thing you have to defend yourself or to protect yourself is God's grace and his mercy. Grace does not last forever. Grace is called a grace period. So guess what? Guess what else gets done away with as well? Grace. Grace has a time period. But the law is going to endure for how long?
Forever.
So they are telling you that the thing that is not forever is what you should put your trust in. But the thing that is forever is over with. Do you see how wicked and evil this place is? The very thing that's supposed to bring you back to the Father is the thing you put away with. And the thing you only have a small window of is the thing you put your trust in. The white man is the devil the Bible speaks of.
That's right.
Keep reading that.
Come on. All they that keep it shall come to life.
Mm-hmm.
But such as leave it shall die.
Now, if you leave these commandments, you will die. It's not just talking about a physical death, because you do die by living in sin. That's why we have the highest rates of everything. Every sick illness that's on this earth, we are dying from it because of the curses. We wouldn't be dying like we are if we was living in life. You see that? Now, go ahead, Doc.
Hey, so like I said, if I could, is there a way that we could also use this precept for those who leave the truth?
Absolutely. Because when you come into the truth, you are going back into the world. You ain't leaving the truth and still living righteous. You're going back into the world. You are mad at the truth because it's a sin you want to do that you can't do here. Right. So you leaving the truth so you can smoke weed or sleep with that white girl at your job that, you know, that always, she real nice to you and she smell good and she like black men and she got money. So, you can't be with her here. Right. So you be like, well, the brotherhood ain't on point. I don't like how brothers be talking. I'm a grown ass man. I'm gonna do what I want to do. No sweat out. Just walk out there into that death. Get them curses, and guess what? We'll be the same place we were when you came the last time. Just like this. See what I'm saying? Judas was in the truth. Judas was accepted by the truth, but Judas didn't accept the truth. He came. He learned. He got all the breakdowns. He heard all the mysteries being broke down the same way Peter and James and all other disciples heard it. But Judas left. So after he left, he died. And that's what happened to our people that's in the world. Our brothers and sisters that come in here, I've seen it in the short time I've been in the truth. They leave the truth and half their brain leave with them. Now they walking on the street with a nappy afro with a pick in it, with one shoe on, one shoe off, and the sock flopping, and they got they just look bad out here.
So like,
go ahead,
if I could, sir. Walking Dead.
The Walking Dead. That's exactly right. Is it some on that?
Nah, sir. That's it.
So now, let me show you the payment. Give me Romans 6:23. Let me show you the payment for your actions. Anything you work for, you get paid. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you work for righteousness, your reward is righteousness. Well, if you work for curses, then your reward is curses. Read that.
Come is the book of Romans chapter 6 verse 23. For the wages of sin is death.
For the what?
For the wages of sin is death.
The payment, the reward for not keeping the commandments, for not doing what's right, is death. But go.
But the gift of the power is eternal life.
Go ahead.
But the gift of the power is eternal life through Yahushua Mashiach.
But the gift of the Most High, the gift of the Most High that He gives you is eternal life. Now, what is eternal life? What is everlasting life? Go ahead.
Following the law, statutes, commandments.
Yes, that's true. But give it to me. Let's walk it deeper into that. Let's keep going. Go ahead. Explain what you mean by that. Give him the mic.
Sorry, cause you
Talking to the mic.
So you being brought back by your son, and
Well, everybody's brought back. Edomites come back in reincarnation. The same devils from the past, they here now. So what do you mean? I'm talking about everlasting life. I'm talking about. I don't want to give you the answer.
it's like I've been in the kingdom.
I ain't gonna give you that. I want you. Go ahead.
Living in these laws, statutes, commandments forever, letting the law endure forever throughout our generations.
Yeah, you at the door. Go ahead, Yeshai. Let me see what you got. Uh-oh, it sound like he walking in the door. Go give him the mic.
It's like when you come back into the world, when you being born again, you coming back in abundant. Like you don't have to, you don't need anything. And like when the kingdom is here, you're coming back in rulership. Abundantly.
That's you there. Okay,
it's like because of what you was doing.
I give him
before.
a hand. I guess that I can take that. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so this is what it is. Everlasting life. What's the other term for it? It's. Give me the scripture when Peter was talking to Christ, and he said, "What will we get?" And he said, "You're gonna sit on 12 thrones." Everlasting life best described is the spirit of the prophets are subjected to the prophets. If you have this life, you're not going to lose this life. If you were someone who were obedient to the most, if you follow Christ in the past, you're going to come back and follow Christ again. You understand? You're going to always come back and do what you've done in life, in righteousness. Read what you got.
It's the book of Matthew, chapter 19, verse 27. Then answered Peter and said unto him, Behold, we have forsaken all.
Now, how long have Paul? How long has it been since Peter was on earth? This Peter right here. How long ago was that? 2,500 years ago. So has Christ came back yet? No, right? Okay, keep reading.
Behold, we have forsaken all and followed thee.
Oh yeah.
What shall we have therefore?
Now, I'm not gonna say nothing. Keep reading.
Verse 28. And Yahushua said unto them, Verily I say unto you, that ye which have followed me in the regeneration, when the Son
in
of
the what?
In the regeneration.
So let me ask you a question. Now go ahead, finish. I'm gonna let you finish it.
When the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, ye also shall sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel.
All right, so bam. Let me ask you a question. If Christ were to come back today, first of all, what does this mean? Okay, let's just say Christ is coming back sometime this year, just for this topic, right? Now, if Christ came back this year, when we see men sitting on those thrones, what do we know that means? What does that mean about those men?
That those were the men that walked with him while he was on earth.
Also known as
the disciples.
That's the disciples. Those men that sit on those thrones when Christ come back, those men would be the disciples back. Now, let me ask you a question. That means those men are alive when? Go ahead.
Right now.
Right now. Those men are walking around the earth right now. And they are doing the same works that they did back then. Because the spirit of the prophets are subjected to the prophets. So they would be in the truth prophesying the same way they were in the past. That's everlasting life. Coming back and doing your same job in righteousness. Coming back and living an abundant life in the truth. Coming back and having what you need in righteousness in the spirit of Christ. Now, the thing that people don't understand about how we living right now is you want the kingdom before Christ comes back. Like that's so like unloyal. If you think about it, if you thinking about being righteous or if you think about being rich, you know what I'm saying, and living in peace and harmony and everything being good, and Christ not being here, that's unloyal. Give me Luke 17. Luke 17 and 7, I think. And I'm going to tell you why I say it's unloyal.
Come, sir. It's the book of Luke, chapter 17, verse 7. But which of you, having a servant plowing or feeding cattle, will say unto him by and by, when he is come from the field, go and sit down to meat?
Now, which of you have an employee that you have that work in your field? When you come home from doing your business, will you pull up in the driveway and be like, hey, boy, go in there and sit down and eat? To your servant? Is that what you're going to say? Keep reading.
Come, verse 8. And will not rather say unto him, make ready wherewith I may sup.
Make ready wherewith what?
I may sup.
Who may sup?
I may sup.
Keep reading.
And gird thyself, and serve me, till I have eaten and drunken. And afterward thou shalt eat and drink.
When you gonna eat and drink?
And serve me till I have eaten and drinking. And afterward thou.
And when?
And afterward.
And before?
And afterward.
Let me tell you something. Let me explain this to you in street terms. Let's say, for instance, me and you, Haba, now we robbed the bank, right? And we got away with $100 billion. We took it to the house and we stashed it. Now we go to court. They finna throw us away. You know what I'm saying? Let's say Christ goes home, gets the money, and rehides it. Comes to our court and say, I did it. It wasn't them. It was me. He takes the charge for the crime we know we did. Right? What are we going to be asking him for? While he's in jail, while he's locked up, as we are free, what are we going to be asking him?
We're going to be asking him where you had the money.
Where the money at? That's what you're doing right now. You praying to the Lord like, where the money? Where's the peace and the happiness and the wealth? We the Israelites, we the Lord chosen. We supposed to get the money. We supposed to have the rulership. But he paid for it. He already died for it. What would Christ say when we ask for the money?
So like I said, he gonna say, you gotta wait till I get out.
Why?
Cause I took this charge.
Yeah, he gonna say, you gotta wait till I get out, because if I give you the money while I'm locked up, I'll never hear from you again.
Right.
The only reason I'm hearing from you now is because you need me. That's our people. You know why black people pray to God? Because they're hurting. Because they need God. They need his money. They need his love. They going through hardship. Hardship make you want to draw near to the Most High. The stuff that you go through in hell is the thing that makes you look for him. We didn't come into the truth because life was great. That's why it's hard for a rich man to come into the truth. Nick Cannon can't even bear people talking about him. We deal with that every day. All day. That's what you got to understand about the truth. You got to understand that it don't make sense for you to want a better place or the kingdom of heaven to come right now when Christ died and already paid for it and he don't have it yet. Keep reading.
Khan, verse 9. Doeth he thank that servant because he did the things that were commanded him?
Now, as a boss, do you come to work and see everybody working good, and they got the fries, they taking the fries out on time, they not burning the fries, You know what I'm saying? They flipping the burgers, they not burning the burgers. Do you come in there and say, I appreciate the way you cook these burgers. I appreciate the way you didn't burn the fries. Do you thank them for doing their job? No. A black man in America want the Lord to thank you. You want the Lord to thank you for stop smoking weed. You want him to say, I thank you, my servant, for following after me and loving me and doing what I said to do. Christ ain't finna thank you for doing what the hell you supposed to do. If you are a parent, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You ain't walking in the house saying, thank y'all for cleaning up. Nigga, y'all supposed to clean up. I pay the bills, I buy the food. The least you can do is wash the dishes and throw out the trash and keep your bed made and keep your room clean. The least you can do is follow Christ after he done died for you and you supposed to be dead. He took your charge. You the one that's supposed to be locked up. You the one supposed to be in the ground. He's not here because of you. And you think he gonna give you the money? He gonna give you the peace? Keep reading.
Come. I troll not.
What?
I troll not.
I think not. Hell, now you ain't gonna do that. Hell, now you ain't gonna pay him before you get paid. You the one that paid for it. So now, he's gonna wait until you get there. That's what he gonna do. Or he gonna leave and never get paid. You are going to live in hell if you can't wait for Christ to get back. You're going to live in a worse condition if you can't wait for Christ to come back and do and receive what he deserves. When Christ comes back and when Christ is full and when Christ get the vengeance that he want, then he'll give us, he'll give us a crown. He'll give us some recognition for being real niggas doing hard time. For being loyal. For holding him down while he was locked up. Writing him, you know what I'm saying? Putting money on his books. Sending them stuff, sending them pictures. Keeping them updated on what's going on. When he get out, he gonna make sure he take care of you because you held him down when he was gone. So when he see you, he gonna be like, man, my nigga, what's good, man? Here, man. Hey, let me go get this money real quick and let's break bread real fast. You know what I'm saying? Cause you know what I'm saying, you real. But for all them people that was down and he took their charge and they fled the scene and they forgot about him, didn't write him, didn't stand with him, you know, when he come out and when he come back and he got the money and he dispersing the money, you know what he gonna say when they try to come with their hand out? Depart from me, man. Get away from me, bro. You not real. I ain't heard from you and dang, I ain't heard from you since I was locked up. I ain't heard from you since I left. They not gonna have life abundant. They're not gonna have everlasting life because they didn't keep life in them. Life left when he left. You see what I'm saying? Another thing that makes you unloyal. You asking the Most High to look out for you and when he asks for you to do something, you can't do it. Now let's just say this is your heart beating, right? And the Most High has never forgot to wake you up. Not one day. Not one day the Most High has forgot about you. Not one. In the 30 and 40 and 50 and 60 years and 20 years that you've been living, the Most High not one time forgot about you. Every morning he wakes you up. Do you know if you miss one breath, that's a heart attack? If you miss two, that's a cardiac arrest and a heart attack. If you miss 3 breaths, you dead. 3. So out of these years that you living, your heart has never skipped a beat. You ain't never missed a breath, and you has never missed a day that the Most High waking you up. And you can't, while he's controlling your heartbeat, while he's controlling you walking and talking, he say, put down the weed. Oh, nah, I mean, I need this weed. And as you disobey him, he still keeps you alive. Now just imagine that. Imagine you telling your kids, You know, like imagine if you got the Xbox controller in your hand, and you like, hey, go get me some water, and they tell you, oh, I'm finna go outside, daddy, or I don't feel like it. What you gonna do with the Xbox controller? You gonna sit on the side of you like you ain't never getting it back. So in the reality of it, what you will be doing is killing your child for not doing one thing. Do you see what I'm saying? Your child didn't do one thing, you ended them that quick. The Most High, you have been a sinner for 30 years, and the Most High ain't stopped your heart from beating. That's mercy. That's love. And the killer part about it is the Most High is more gangster than all of us. He realer than it. He got every right to just say, I'll make a new nigga that's gonna do what I say. And he's still looking at your hard-headed, weed smoking, the retarded behind, and keeping you alive. That's the God that we serve. And he's trying to keep you alive through you being obedient. He don't want to curse you. He don't want to hurt you. But you hurt yourself with your hard-headedness. Now, hell. Because what you don't understand is that's what real love is. Real love is, even though you don't deserve my love, I still love you. Christ is showing us real love because we don't deserve it. The reason Christ had to come is because of our disobedience. And then when Christ dies, we still are disobedient. Do you see how evil and wicked we are? So that should make you serve the Lord. Before we go anywhere else, let me get Luke 7. Let me get Luke 7 real quick. And let me see. Luke 7 and 41. This is us.
Khan, sir. This is the book of Luke, chapter 7, verse 41. There was a certain creditor which had two debtors. The one owed 500 pence, and the other 50.
Let me tell you something. All of us owe millions of pence. All of us. We all have fallen short. You understand? But some of us are more loyal. Some of us are more grateful than the others. Keep reading.
Khan, verse 42. And when they had nothing to pay, he frankly forgave them both.
That's the coldest part. How much did we have to pay?
When they had nothing to pay.
When they had nothing to pay. You had no way to clear this debt. You owe the mafia leader and you cannot pay a penny. What happened?
He frankly forgave them both.
He forgave them both. Go ahead.
Tell me, therefore, which of them will love him most?
This is the part that's hard for me to wrap my mind around. You know that you've been living your life in sin, and you know you deserve death, and you still don't follow Christ. You still don't follow the one who paid your debt. Who is the one that's going to be more happy about the forgiveness out of those two? The one that owed 50 or the one that owed 500? Who's going to be the happiest? When he say, hey, I forgive both of you, who's going to be the happiest about that?
I mean, I would think the one that owed the most.
That's exactly right. Read that. Read.
Khan, sir. Verse 43. Simon answered and said, I suppose that he to whom he forgave most. And
good job, Simon. Because you said exactly what he said. I would think. I would suppose that the one that owed the most.
Damn.
Go ahead.
Khan. And he said unto him, thou hast rightly judged.
That's correct. You are unloyal when you owe the most and you still don't serve Christ. You still walk in death. You still turn your back on life. And you owe a debt that you can't pay because you don't have no money to pay it. You see what I'm saying? Like, man, listen, man, the white man has played a trick on us that's so wicked and evil, and the fact that we can't even see it for what it really is the part that's so, detrimental to us. Because our people want to learn how to serve the Lord, but now that the truth is coming out, being pushed more in their face, it makes them not want to serve the Lord more. Because it makes them have a responsibility that they don't want. And it's important. Like, what we doing is so important because nobody else is willing to do it. Because there is no reward for telling the truth, but there is a reward for lying. Nick Cannon can become, he can get his job back by lying and say the Jews aren't black, and now I'm listening to the rabbi, and now I'm sorry, and they might forgive him and let him get his stuff back. But when you standing up for what's right and what's wrong, we stand up for what's right and not swaying and not changing your mind, you don't get rewarded for that on earth by your oppressor. But you will get rewarded from that from your king, because he see it, and he sees you as loyal, and you deserve life and to have it more abundantly. Now, let me get the book of Isaiah chapter 14. And we're going to start at verse 4.
Come on, sir. This is the book of Isaiah chapter 14 verse 4. That thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon.
Against who?
The king of Babylon.
This entire chapter is about the king of Babylon. Lucifer is not Satan. The king of Babylon is who Lucifer is. This is his title. You understand? Read.
And say, how hath the oppressor ceased? The golden city ceased.
Listen, this is them falling. Because before this, in verse 1 and 2, is the Lord having mercy on Jacob and making all the other nations slaves and giving us peace, giving us rest from our sorrow. But this is when Christ returns. So now we talking noise to him. Now we talking noise about how he falling. That's what is happening. Start at verse 1 so we can get the full context.
Khan, verse 1. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob, and will yet choose Israel, and set them in their own land, and the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob.
Oh yeah.
Verse 2. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids, and they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors.
So this is the kingdom right here. The kingdom of heaven. Christ is back. We setting up shop. Now, keep reading.
Khan, verse 3. And it shall come to pass in the day that the Lord shall give thee rest from thy sorrow.
When do you get rest from your sorrow? When does the hard life stop? Habanah?
When Christ returns?
When Christ returns. Because he paid for it. Don't expect the reward. Don't expect the the glamorous life to Christ's return. And that's why the Isupk is so vital and pivotal to being the earth. Because we get peace and rest in here. Like, this is the kingdom. We are in the place that's helping building the kingdom. So we experience the little peace and the little rest that we can have in this hell. But you know why? Do you know why we can have life? So dang, I just gave it to you. God dang it. Do you know why we can have rest and peace? Because this is the place that births life. It teaches you how to keep the commandments. That's why. Keep reading.
Khan. And Salaka shall give thee rest from thy sorrow, and from thy fear, and from the hard bondage wherein thou was made to serve.
Thou was what to serve?
Made to serve.
You wasn't made to be a slave, but you were made to. They made you serve. You were not made to be a slave, but your oppressors made you serve them. That's what it said. Keep reading.
Verse 4. That thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon.
Now we back to it. Now this is what we gonna say to the white man when he falls. Go ahead.
And say, how hath the oppressor ceased?
Oh, what's going on, Mr. White Man? What's stopping all your rulership? Go ahead.
The golden city ceased.
Well, you mean to tell me America is falling? You mean to tell me all your army, your military? What's going on, Donald Trump? I don't hear you talking about the shithole country no more. I don't see Hillary Clinton. I don't see now that we super predators. Oh, what's going on? Keep going.
Verse 5. The Lord had broken the staff of the wicked.
The Lord didn't beat your ass. The Lord done stepped on you. Everything that made you feel like you was strong and mighty and better than everybody else, the Lord broke you. The one that you didn't believe in. The one we was going out on the streets and talking about, and you said that we was foolish for talking about him. Yeah, this was going on. Keep reading.
And the scepter of the rulers.
Go ahead. The staff of the rulers. Go ahead.
He who smote the people with wrath with a continual stroke.
Mm-hmm.
He that ruled the nations in anger is persecuted, and none hindereth.
Now you being persecuted, and ain't nobody stopping it. Oh, at first we couldn't look at a white man. Now we can do whatever we want to him, and nobody's going to stop us. Nobody's going to hinder us. Keep reading.
Verse 7. The whole earth is at rest.
What's at rest?
The whole earth.
Everything and everybody is going to be happy when you fall. When you are destroyed. Keep reading.
And is quiet.
And it's what?
It is quiet.
You're going to get peace when Christ returns. And it's going to be peace and quiet. You're not going to have to worry about the things that you have to worry. You're not going to have to worry about the police pulling you over. You're not going to have to worry about rent and being poor and not having enough. You're going to be at rest from your sorrows. Keep reading.
They break forth into singing.
Now, this is the reason to sing. We've been singing for so long in hell, in Babylon. We've been singing songs in the worst condition. David said, how can I sing in an unknown land? This ain't even my home. How you expect me to sing happiness in hell? That's what the white man requires of you. He requires of you to be happy about being his slave. Now we gonna have a reason to sing and be happy. Go ahead.
Verse 8. Yeah, the fir trees rejoice at thee, and the cedars of Lebanon sing. Since thou art laid down, no feller is come up against us.
Ain't no feller gonna be able to come up against us. You know who's saying this? Do you know who's saying this? Who's talking right now?
Like it, sir. That's us.
No,
That
ain't us. Give him the mic. Who's saying this? This is the part that's gonna piss you off. Nah, Rum. Who's saying this?
The trees.
The trees. The trees are saying, whew, I ain't gotta worry about nobody cutting me down. I'm safe. Because the white man is not ruling no more. The earth is gonna be at peace. Everybody happy when the white man ain't ruling. When the wicked bear rule, what happens?
People mourn.
The people mourn. Not just the people, the trees, the fish, the ground, the sky. Everything mourns. The tree like, read it again.
So like I said, if I could. Verse 8. Yeah, the fir trees rejoice at thee, and the cedars of Lebanon sing. Since thou art laid down, no feller is come up against us.
I ain't got to worry about no fellers coming out here and cutting me down. Since the white man been laid down, we good. Keep reading.
Verse 9. Hell from beneath is moved for thee.
Now, this is where I want to get. Hell from beneath is what?
Is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming.
Now, listen at this. Hell is at the bottom. Heaven is at the top. As the white man fall, guess what's moving out the way? You. As he falls, guess who has always caught the white man in his fall?
Us.
You. The Great Depression, black people. Anytime the white man society fall, we got you, master. We gonna lift you right back up.
Right. Damn.
Hell from beneath you moves now. We getting out the way. He gonna hit flat earth. He gonna hit the earth where nobody gonna have hands down in to catch him. Hell from beneath him. Go ahead, read it again.
Come on. Verse 9. Hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming.
Mm-hmm.
It stirreth up the dead for thee,
Mm-hmm.
even all the chief ones of the earth.
Go ahead.
It had raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nation.
You know what this means? There's going to be a change. There's going to be a new heaven and a new earth. There's going to be a new ruler. Because his scepter is broken. It said that already. In verse 5. Mm-hmm. His scepter is broken. So guess who's going to have the new scepter? Mm-mm. Go ahead.
Christ.
Christ is going to have a scepter. And he's going to be ruling over the heavens and the earth. The new heaven and the new earth. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, and everybody else that's at the bottom now. Keep reading.
Verse 10. All they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we?
Now all the nations going to be like, hold on, wait. You down here with us? Are you poor like us now? Are you weak like us? Them Africans with them flies on their face, the real skinny ones, the real skinny Africans with the big stomachs, they're going to be like, you hungry like, are you hungry like me? Do you have no food and water like me? Is it hard for you as it is for me? Keep reading.
Come on. Art thou become like unto us?
Are you becoming like us? Are you a poor man like us? That's what the Africans gonna say to the white man. Everybody gonna look at them and be like, wait a minute, hold up, wait. Donald Trump, what you doing in the hood? Well, you got a 2-bedroom. I know you used to the towers. What's going on? Keep reading.
Come on. Verse 11. Thy pomp is brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy vials, the worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee.
The worm. What does worms do? They did what? They decompose. Worms eat the dead. So you know what's getting ready? Worms. We're like, oh, this nigga about to die. He weak. I'm ready to eat. That's that. The worms. Guess what's gonna be big when Christ come back? Worms. Worms gonna be swole. Worms gonna look like goddamn anacondas. Because they're going to be eaten all day and night. Because there's going to be a lot of slain. Birds are going to be big. A vulture going to look like a pterodactyl. Because he going to eat all day and night. And they going to be over here on this side of the earth just eating all day. They going to set up nests, house. Just imagine how happy a bird going to be. I'm eating the people that would normally cut my house down. So I ain't got to worry about nobody coming over here and cutting down my house. I'm finna set up the biggest nest. Birds gonna have mansions. Right. Can you imagine what a bird's nest gonna look like? 3-story nest. You know what I'm saying? He gonna have nest on top, this branch, then this branch, and that's all his tree. You know what I'm saying? He gonna have a whole tree, his nest. Birds is gonna be in the kingdom. They gonna be able to be at rest because the devil is going to be put under everybody. Keep reading.
Come, verse 12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer?
Oh,
Lucifer.
This ain't talking about Satan. This is talking about the white man. Because the white man is the devil.
That's right.
That's who the devil is. This is who this is talking about. He's finna fall from heaven. He's finna fall from rulership. He's finna fall from being at the top. Go ahead.
Khan, son of the morning, how art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nation?
He's the one that's been stealing all the resources. You can't get a banana in your own land because the white man put taxation on it. You understand like how wicked and evil it is? You can't go outside and pick it. Do you know we can't reserve rainwater? That's a felony. If you have something to collect rainwater, the white man says that's a felony. He weakens the nations. Not just blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. The Arabs, the East Indians, 10. The stuff that you use for your phones in Africa, you get 10 from Africa. The white man has taxation on the 10. He has taxation on everything. He weakens all nations. Keep reading.
Khan, verse 13. For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of the power. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation.
Stop. That's a lot of stuff going on right there. Read that again. I will ascend into heaven. I'm going to go into space. I'm going to go into the sky. You know what I'm saying? Keep reading.
Khan, I will exalt my throne above the stars of the power.
Everybody that know about me will know I am the one that went into the space. I will exalt my throne above the Most High. I'm stronger than the Most High. I destroyed the Most High's people. Whether you know it or not, those people that I got in the ghettos, that's the Lord's people. I conquered them. I've defeated the Lord already. You worried about him? The Lord should be worried about my military, because I have his people fighting in my military, and they're going to fight against him. I've defeated him already. Keep reading.
Khan, I will also sit, Salaga, I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation.
And I'm going to sit on top of his people. I'm going to sit on top of the top of his people, the mount. So now I'm not going to just destroy the people, but I'm going to destroy the government of his people. Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton, the people we look up to, Martin Luther King. He's sitting on top of the mount of our congregation. Go ahead.
In the sides of the north.
In the sides of where?
Of the north.
Where do we stay at?
North America.
North America. Keep reading.
Verse 14. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High.
That's the white man's spirit. Go ahead.
Verse 15. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell.
But in actuality, the white man is being brought down to hell. Hell is not a place you go when you die. Hell is a condition on earth. You just seen hell being used 2 times in this chapter. You seen hell being brought up to meet him as he fall, and it's being described as a place that Lucifer fell to. Lucifer fell to hell. He fell to a low condition. He's fallen to a lower state. He's used to being in heaven. He's used to ruling and telling you what to eat and what not, and what to do and who to sleep with. Now he gonna fall to the state of, sir, I don't want sir. Do you need me to do you need some mulch in your flower garden? He's gonna fall to being at the bottom. Keep reading.
Khan. Verse 16. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee. And
when our kids see the white man, when our grandchildren see the white man, just imagine if the white man is at the bottom. Just imagine you have grandchildren and we're in the kingdom of heaven and we ruling. So your child is coming out, your grandchild is coming out not seeing nothing but braids, beards, mitris, headscarf, war scarves, boots, you know what I'm saying, garments. They gonna and we gonna tell them, don't you ever let the white man do nothing, because keep reading.
Khan. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble? Don't ever listen to him, because if you make a treaty with him, he'll blow you up. If you accept him in any form or fashion, he's going to kill you and rape your children and eat your children and destroy your family, and we're gonna start running the history. And the kids gonna be like, him?
Is this the man? Yeah, he gonna drop bombs on you. He gonna drop bombs? This caveman? He the one that y'all was worried about? He used to be a problem. That's what they gonna say. Is this the man? Just imagine. He say they gonna narrowly look up on you. You know what narrowly look mean? That's like him? You talking Pawpaw? You talking about Roof out there in the yard? Scruffy? Scrappy? Keep reading.
It's like I said, if I could
Go ahead.
I just wanted to kind of make a point on like how retarded Christians sound, because they look at hell as you supposed to be like eternal burning, right? You eternally burning. Mm-hmm. There's no way you can narrowly look upon anything and say anything but scream and holler and how you gonna look upon, like you gonna
have conversations and you in the fire. You know, you in a full-fledged fire talking. No, no. Go ahead.
Sir. Verse 16. that did shake kingdoms. Mm-hmm. Verse 17. That made the world as a wilderness, and destroyed the cities thereof. That opened not the house of his prisoners.
Come on now, who is this talking about?
Man.
He's talking about the white man. Is this the one that y'all saying didn't let y'all out of jail? Y'all was locked up by the millions. He had the earth as a wilderness. Now just imagine. This is the cold part. You know, the entire Middle East, it looks like a desert. It used to be a paradise. It used to be jungles, and it used to have beaches and all that. But the white man done sucked all the oil out of the Middle East and sucked all the resources to where now it's full of just dirt and desert. Keep reading.
Come on, Khan. That opened not the house of his prisoners.
Go ahead.
Verse 18. All the kings of the nations, even all of them, lie in glory, every one in his own house.
Go ahead.
Verse 19. But thou art cast out of thy grave like an abominable branch, and as the remnant and as the raiment of those that are slain, thrust through with a sword, that go down to the stones of the pit, as a carcass trodden under feet.
Well, that's the white man. He's going to be thrust through and thrown down to the sides of the pit. That's what's going to happen to him. Go ahead.
Verse 20. Thou shalt not be joined with them in burial.
We going to what?
Thou shalt not be joined with them in burial.
We not going to die like they going to die. We're not going to be joined with them with what's going on with them. Go ahead.
Because thou hast destroyed thy land and slain thy people. The seed of evildoers shall never be renowned.
The seed of evildoers will never be renowned. What were men of renown in the scriptures? Giants. Popular. Famous. Ain't gonna be no Eminems or Justin Biebers in the kingdom. Ain't gonna be no famous white men in the kingdom. Nobody will ever remember them anymore. There'll never be somebody that we look up to. Ever again. Keep reading.
Verse 21. Prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers.
All these white people that say, I ain't had nothing to do with it. I never had slaves. No sweat. I know you didn't. But you got to pay for the crimes of your father. The Bible said prepare slaughter for his children for the sins of the father. That they won't do what?
That they do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities.
You're not gonna rise up against us, and you're not gonna do us like you did the Native Americans. You're not gonna do us like you did every country on this earth. You know, in Greece, the original Grecians were Japhetic people. They were dark-skinned people. You know, the original Romans were dark-skinned people. You know, they were Japhetic. They were dark. And they rose up against them, and they conquered them. And they possessed their lands. And now when you think Greece, you don't know anything about those Japhetic people. You know about the white man. When you think Rome, you don't know about the Latins. The original Latins were Japhetic. They were dark skinned. You don't know about them. You think Rome, you think white. When you think America, you don't think Native Americans. You don't think Northern Kingdom. You think white. When you think of England, you don't think Japhetic, dark skinned. You think white. Guess what? Don't worry about that. Ain't happening no more. Because they won't rise or possess this land or fill the face of the world with cities. They not going to fill the kingdom of heaven up. It ain't going to be a lot of them. Keep reading.
Khan, verse 22. For I will rise up against them, said the Lord of hosts, and cut off from Babylon the name and remnant and son and nephew, said the Lord.
The Lord say, I'm going to cut off the name of the white man, his reputation. They won't be renowned. The remnant, his children, all the male children. You know how we know it's the male children? Because it says the son and the nephew. Those are the men. He gonna cut them off, said the Lord. That's what's coming. And the only way that happens is if Babylon falls. America has to fall. This place has to be destroyed in order for our kingdom to come. This empire has to fall in order for the kingdom of heaven to come. That's it. Ain't nothing else to talk about. Give me Jeremiah 25 and 31. Anybody got any questions, type them in.
Khan, this is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 25, verse 31. A noise shall come even to the ends of the earth, for the Lord had a controversy with the nations.
What's the noise that's coming to all over the earth? The noise is, man, the black people started talking about the Jews as black. It's a controversy. We can't let them talk about this. That's the biggest kept secret on the earth. We can't let them talk about this. You know how much we've done to hide that the Jews were black? You know how much history we had to, you know how many history classes we had to have for these hundreds of years to reprogram them into thinking the Jews are white? Man, we can't let this happen. Keep reading.
Khan. He will plead with all flesh. He will give them that are wicked to the sword.
He gonna give what?
He will give them that are wicked to the sword.
Go ahead.
Said the Lord. Verse 32. Thus said the Lord of hosts, behold, evil shall go forth from nation to nation.
That's what's happening. What we're seeing happening right now is everybody's getting mad at each other. And every nation is deciding to fight against each other. And as we watch this happen, as we watch this conjure up, what we are doing is just teaching. Because the scripture says, through the foolishness of teaching will I free my people. The Lord is going to free us through teaching our people while everybody else gather up to fight. The Lord never told us to bear arms against them and fight them. He never told us to fight with our guns. How did the Lord free us from Egypt?
With plagues and pestilence?
With plagues and pestilence. We seeing plagues right now. The coronavirus is a plague. This is just the beginning of the plagues. Go ahead, Doc.
Salaki said the bubonic plague has came back.
That's what I'm saying. This is just the beginning. So while all these plagues are starting to come, you know what we doing in Isupk? Teaching. See, all we saying is, we told y'all about this. Look, this is the precept to show you that there's more is coming. Now, what you need to do is come and get in class. You need to learn how to change your life and come into what? Come into what, Habanah?
The truth?
Come into, if we on topic for today, come into what?
Life.
Because this is the place that offers life, that offers the blessings. While y'all out there getting the plagues, which are the what?
curses.
The curses. And that's also known as
Death.
death. Death is the curses. If you want abundant life, you got to follow the commandments. You have to do what the Lord say to do. You understand? Keep reading.
Con. And a great whirlwind shall be raised up from the coast.
What verse you at?
Verse 32.
Okay.
And a great whirlwind shall be raised up from the coast of the earth.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 33. And the slain of the Lord shall be at that day from one end of the earth even unto the other end of the earth.
Come on now. What we just said about the birds eating? What we just said a vulture look like a pterodactyl? Because they going to be eating all over. You're going to see a bluebird and be like, damn, that boy eating. You're going to see a red bird and say, good night. That's a strong red bird. Because he don't have some protein. You understand? He didn't ate some Edomite, some Amorite, some, you know what I'm saying, some Amalekite, some Philistine. He been eating. He got proteins and all kind of stuff. He eating off these heathens that's dead. Keep reading.
They shall not be lamented. Neither
And they're not going to be what?
lamented.
Lamented. What does that mean? Ain't nobody going to mourn over them. They're not going to be buried. You understand? Like, even when the coronavirus hit, you couldn't have a funeral because of social distancing. You couldn't have a funeral. You couldn't have, 10 or more people in the room. So everybody had to be cremated during the time of the coronavirus that died. They couldn't be lamented. They couldn't be mourned properly. Just imagine when the Lord just let loose the spirit of death to destroy all of these heathens for what they've done to us. Keep reading.
Con. Neither gathered nor buried. They shall be dung upon the ground.
They're going to be what?
Dung upon the ground.
What's dung?
Boo-boo.
No, say it clear.
Shit.
That's what they are. They boo-boo on the earth. They are feces. They are fertilizer. That's what dung is, fertilizer. That's why them trees gonna grow so big and tall and strong, because it's gonna be full of devil. It's gonna be a devil tree, just sprouting up. Keep reading.
Con, verse 34. Howl, ye shepherds, and cry.
Now, while their master is dying, who else gotta die? Guess who else gonna be in pain? Howl who?
Ye shepherds, and cry.
And cry. Christian pastors, you the shepherds of the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. And guess what? Your master about to die. Your master about to fall. So guess what's coming to you next? You gonna fall. Ooh-wee. Go ahead.
And wallow yourselves in the ashes.
Mm-hmm.
Ye principal of the flock.
Mm-hmm.
For the days of your slaughter and of your dispersions are accomplished, and ye shall fall like a pleasant vessel.
You gonna fall the way your master fall. That's why in Revelations it says that that Satan and his angels are gonna fall. But you know who his angels are? An angel is a messenger. You know who been pushing Christianity, been pushing the philosophy of the white man? You Christian pastors. That's why you gotta pay. Go ahead.
Con, verse 35. And the shepherds shall have no way to flee, nor the principal of the flock to escape.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 36. A voice of the cry of the shepherds and an howling of the principal of the flock shall be heard.
That's just the Lord letting you know that all of you gonna die and pay for lying and destroying the Lord's people. That's what the Lord is telling you. And there's nothing that you can do about it. But blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, give me Revelations 5 and 10. Let me show you what you're gonna be doing. You got a question?
Well, the precept to that will be, Lord, Lord, have I prophesied in your name?
Crit for a Christian pastor?
Con.
Damn right. Because that's what they going to say. When Christ come with that sword, they going to be like, wait, Salakia. Lord, Haven't I prayed and prophesied in your name? I'm T.D. Jakes. You don't know about my works? I got the Potter's House right there. It's big, major, mega church. I got holy water in the front of my church that I sell because I got the anointing of the Holy Spirit on me. He gonna say, what he gonna say? Depart from me. Nigga, I don't know you. You wasn't standing with me when we was shooting in the gym. Go ahead, give me what you got.
You say Revelation 5 and what, sir?
Revelation 5
and 10.
Yeah, 10.
Con. It's the book of Revelation, chapter 5, verse 10. And had made us into our God, our power, kings and priests, and we shall reign on the earth.
While all that's going on, while they dying and all that, the Most High gonna make us kings and priests. And we gonna do what?
And we shall reign on the earth.
We gonna be ruling in rulership. If you can't conquer your body, how do you expect to rule on the earth? If you can't conquer your flesh, how do you expect rulership on the earth? You don't deserve it, because you can't conquer anything. That's what we working for. We working for rulership and conquering everything. Give me Daniel 7 and 18.
Con. This is the book of Daniel, chapter 7, verse 18. But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom.
Listen, man. This is the Bible. The Bible say, okay, who are the saints of the Most High?
People that follow the law, statutes, and the commandments.
So can a white man be a saint?
La.
So who are the saints?
Israelites.
That's what you got to say. Saints are Israelites. The Lord's chosen people are the saints of the Most High. He said that the saints will do what?
But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever.
How long?
Even forever.
Wait, stop. Is that two forevers?
Con.
Is it a forever and a forever?
Con.
So that means forever and ever.
Con.
That means in black people turn, we will never stop ruling, because the saints gonna rule forever, even forever.
Con. And ever.
What, another one? Is that 3?
Con.
So you mean to tell me we're gonna rule forever? Hold on, let me read it.
Forever.
Right. Good night. We gonna rule forever,
Right.
forever, ever.
Con.
That means our rulership will never stop. Our empire will never fall. You know, every other empire on this earth has fell. You know, Egypt was a great, strong empire, and it fell. The Babylonian Empire, that was a strong empire. That's why it was ahead of gold in Nebuchadnezzar's dream. It was the strongest, and it fell. Then the Persians, oh my goodness, they were like a bear, and they fell. Then the Grecians, they were like what, a ram or something. What was the Greeks? A ram or a leopard, and they fell. And then the Romans, that's clay, and you looking at this clay like, oh my God, because we are in Rome right now. We just in the 10 toes of Rome, and it's falling. Well, ours ain't gonna never fall. Give me verse 27.
Con. Verse 27. And the kingdom and dominion and the greatness of the kingdom under the whole heaven shall be given to the people of the saints of the Most High, whose kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and all dominions shall serve and obey him.
Come on, all right? Y'all don't want that? Y'all want to share that with everybody? That's for us. This is our inheritance. This is why we give up our lives in this hell. We give up our lives here to get that. Give me Daniel 2 and 48. 44. What's it like? Daniel 2 and 44. Yes, 44.
Come on, this is the book of Daniel, chapter 2, verse 44. And in the days of these kings shall the power of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed. And the kingdom shall not be left to other people.
The kingdom not going to be what?
Left to other people.
And we ain't going to be sharing our kingdom. You know, the white man, they can try to share their kingdom with the Chinese. They can try to share their kingdom with the Arabs. Not us. It's going to be niggas, spicks, and wetbacks ruling forever and ever and ever and ever and ever.
Right.
Keep reading.
But it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms.
We're going to consume every nation. Everybody that has ever tried to fight against us, we're going to consume you. Meaning we're going to destroy you. Keep reading.
And it shall stand forever.
Keep reading.
Verse 45. For as much as thou sawest that the stone
That's
was...
all I need right there.
Come on.
So that's what I'm trying to get you to understand. The life that comes through being in the truth, once you receive that life and you take that life in, you get something that could never be taken from you. You see what I'm saying? The only way it can be taken from you is if you give it up. The only way you can lose the kingdom is if you give the kingdom up. That's it. You can come in here and hold on tight to and get something that you could get, your kids could get, your kids' kids could get, your kids' kids will end up being you, and you can come back and get it again. If I die in the kingdom, I'm passing this crown over to my son. And my son's sons, and they gonna have children, and I'll be one of them children, and one day that crown will get put right back on my head. Because Christ is going to sit on the throne of his father, David, his grandfather. So Christ is going to bring forth David. And guess what? David is going to sit where? He going to sit on his old throne. He going to sit on the throne he left for his grandson. He going to sit on the throne that he left for his son, Solomon. And he going to sit on the throne that he left for his son, Rehoboam. And then back to Christ, then back to him. You see how it works? That's everlasting life. That's life abundant. That's what we teach. That's the Bible. That's what life is all about. Anybody got any questions? The Isupk, the Commanding General, Your Honor, we are the true priests and prophets of the Lord. And, you know, if you feel like there are some more priests out here, you know, we all the same, then go and learn from them. It's easy. Just go and learn from them, you know, and be happy, be joyful with glee. But in this school, we let it be known that the white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of. That's right. And the kingdom of heaven is for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, and it is not for anybody else. We will not share it with anybody else, and that's that. Anybody got any questions before we end this class? How long has this class been? 1:30? I got precepts, but I don't want to, you know, what Stevie wanted to say, I don't want to bore you with. You know what I'm saying? I just want y'all to understand how serious it is. And how serious it is to follow these laws, statutes, and commandments. Because following these laws, statutes, and commandments is life. It's forever. And it's something that you can, it's an inheritance. And black people, we don't know anything about inheritance, but we do know about debt. Because we inherit debt. We don't inherit wealth. We do inherit debt. I got a partner that, you know, when we was 21, we was trying to get an apartment together. And when when we got the apartment, when we got lights, when we was trying to get lights in his name, the light company said you owe us money from 1988, and that nigga said I was born in '86. How in the hell do I owe you money? Because mama had to put the lights in your name to have lights. That's what we inherit. You understand? But we teach you in the Isupk how to inherit and pass down wealth and life from generation to generation to generation. All right. Guess everybody know the Bible. Y'all ain't got no questions. Somebody say, come on with them precepts. I'm going to pull one more precept. Go ahead, Doc.
Zalaki, sir, I had a question on Luke 7 and 9.
All right, go ahead.
Come. When Yahushua heard these things, he marveled at them and turned him about and said unto the people that followed him, I say unto you, I have not found so great in faith, no, not in Israel.
Mm-hmm.
What did he mean when he said this, sir?
So Christ was not in the land of Israel. He was talking to somebody that was not in the land. Where were they at? They was in another city. It should tell you right above that. Capernaum. They was in Capernaum. And this man came up to Christ with faith, Doc. Hold on, what did he say? Read verse 6.
Come. Verse 6. Then Yahushua went with them. And when he was now not far from the house, the centurion sent friends to him, saying, Lord, unto him, Lord, trouble not thyself, for I am not worthy that I shouldest enter into my roof.
So this man is asking Christ to come into his house and heal somebody that's in his house. But he like, look, Salaki, sir, you are too righteous to come into my house. My house is not as clean as you are. Do you understand that? He understood that Christ was just who he was. And he was like, look, I don't even want you coming. Keep reading. He's going to tell you some more.
Verse 7. Wherefore neither, though myself worthy to come unto thee, but saying a word, and my servant shall be healed.
He like, look, I'm a man of authority. I tell people to go and come and go and do this and do that and do that. And, it ain't always righteous. Sometimes I got to tell a nigga to kill a nigga and he got to go do it. Like, so I don't even want you in that atmosphere. Salaki, if I may, could you just keep reading?
Verse 8. For I also am a man set under authority, having under me soldiers. And I say unto one, go, and he goeth. And to another, come, and he cometh. And to my servant, do this, and he doeth it.
Keep going.
Verse 9. When Yahushua heard these things, he marveled at them. And he turned him about and said unto the people that followed him, I say unto you, I have not found so great faith, no, not in Israel.
Go ahead.
Verse 10. And they say that they were and they that were sent returning to the house found the servant whole, that he had been sick.
And after that, he was like, man, I ain't seen nobody even in Israel that had this much faith to know that I am the king and know that I am the one that the Most High said, and they don't want me around because they know that they wicked. Man, don't worry about it. I got you. And when he got back to the house, the one that he was asking the Most High, asking Christ to heal, he was healed. Go ahead.
So Salaki, sir, was he talking to a heathen? Sir.
Our nation has been scattered across all four corners of the earth. Give me Deuteronomy 28 and 64, I think. Let me just give you this so you can have it. Deuteronomy 28:64.
Come on, sir, got it.
I think that's right. I'm saying it.
It's right,
that ain't
sir.
cool. Yep, that's it. Go ahead.
Khan, this is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 64. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people, from thee one end of the earth even unto the other.
Stop. Who is he scattering?
Israel.
Israel. So we scatter it from one place of the earth even unto the other side of the earth. So this man that he's talking to is our brother. Now, has Yahushua healed heathens? Yes, he has, because he healed the he healed the what's that woman that he called a dog? A Syrophoenician by nation. He healed a Greek woman, a white woman, but she understood her place. You understand? She understood she was a dog, and she understood that she didn't deserve it. And the Lord gave her a blessing. You know what a blessing is to black people today? What do black people say? Oh, this is such a blessing. When do they say that?
Salaki, sir, whenever they get some money in their pocket.
What else?
Whenever they get a new car, a new house.
What else?
A new job.
What
a
else?
promotion.
Groceries. They go to the food drive. They go to a food drive and somebody put a turkey in their window and they like, oh, this is such a blessing. They go to the school, back to school drive, and you put some Crayolas and a binder and a backpack in the car, and they say, oh, this is such a blessing. They go to a drive and get a bike put in the back of the car for Christmas, and they like, oh, this is a blessing. Black people are just happy with just anything. Well, that was her. She was just happy with just being able to get anything. Now, just because she got a blessing, that don't mean she's a part of the covenant. Covenant and blessing are two different things. All nations got a blessing. Ishmael got a blessing. You understand? Everybody got blessings, but everybody is not a part of the covenant. You understand? All right, no sweat. Oh, I see some questions on there now. Go ahead.
I just wanted to break down Jeremiah chapter 8, verse 1 and 2.
All right.
Jeremiah 8, chapter 1. At that time, saith the Lord, they shall bring out the bones of the kings of Judah, and the bones of his princes, and the bones of the priests, and the bones of the prophets, and the bones of the inhabitants of Jerusalem out of their graves. Verse 2. And they shall be spread them before the sun and the moon, and all the host of heaven, whom they have loved, and whom they have served, and after whom they have walked, and whom they have sought, and whom they have worshipped, they shall not be gathered, nor be buried. They shall be for dung upon the face of the earth.
Mm-hmm.
A breakdown on that, sir.
Read verse 3.
Verse 3. And death shall be chosen rather than life by all the residue of them that remain of this evil family, which remain in all the places whither I have driven them, saith the Lord of hosts.
Sounds like what we've been talking about all day. Death was chosen instead of life. So because they chose sin over righteousness, they die. And all of their bones, they're not able to get buried. These people are not able to die a good death. They dying a horrible death where their bones are being brought forth. The kings of Judah, the bones of the priests, the bones of the princes, the bones of the prophets, the bones of the inheritance of Jerusalem and the grave, out of the graves, like that's like a disrespectful death. You know what I mean? Like, we bury our dead, but your dead are not being buried. You are dying and not getting the proper burial. You see what I'm saying? Why are you dying and not getting the proper burial? Go ahead.
Because you probably got caught sinning.
Because you are wicked and evil. And you're not living right. You understand? That's called Sheol. Sheol is hell. And that's where you bury sinners. You know that, right? That's the real hell. Hell is where is a pit where sinners die. You bring them in front of the courts, and the judge say, "What happened to you? What's going on?" "Well, yeah, I slept with another man's wife, but, Salakia. I know, Sweat. I understand. I appreciate your Salakia, brother, but you got to die. We're going to stone you. We'll see you in the reincarnation." We take him out back, dig his head, dig him into a hole, have his head sticking out. We stone him. You know what we not doing to him? We not digging a grave for him. We throwing him in the pit full of sinners. That's what this is talking about in there. It's talking about people that don't deserve a proper burial because they're wicked. All right? I swear. I see. When it says, "Let there be light," was it talking about light in the ground? Okay. When it says, "Let there be light," it's talking about lighting up the elements. It's talking about lighting up with the core of the earth. You know what I mean? The core of the earth is the first light. That is the light that was lit. That was lit up so that the angels can see the working ground that they were working on. If you're thinking about building something, you make a foundation, you make the outline. So we're going to work in this area. And then we're going to have a light. Well, that light was the gases and the molecules that were brought together so that they can start to make the earth. You understand? Well, you can say somebody else? Okay. Yeah, that was the light. So yeah, it is the light that was in the ground because the earth's core is that light, and it's in the ground. So I hope that answers your question. It says, "Is grace limited?" Yes, grace is limited. Grace runs out. Grace is just like any other thing. You got grace period on your time on your car note. You pay your car note. No, you don't pay your car note. You have a grace period before they come and pick it up. Well, you have a grace period before the Lord says, "The hell with you, I'm just tired of you and I'm going to kill you. I've given you every opportunity that you needed and now it's just time to get rid of you." So grace does run out. It is limited. Go ahead, Ron.
It's a question from Prince's Renewed Mind.
Go ahead.
Salakia, sir, was Israel once a part of Africa? And what shall I tell someone that is saying that Israel was a part of the dark nations?
Okay, all nations were dark except the Edomites. So Israel is not all the other nations. We are holy. We are separate. We are set apart from everybody else. So all nations can't be Israel just because of skin folk. Like we say, your skin folk ain't your kin folk. So just because we all dark, that don't mean we're the same. And that's why white people say black people sold black people into slavery, because they associate each other by skin. But in actuality, Africans are not Hebrews. So you can't look at a dark person and think this is your family member because of his skin tone at all. What else does it say?
And it says, what should I tell someone that is saying that Israel was part of the dark nations?
Yeah, Israel was not a part of the dark nation. Israel was not a Hamite. Israel was not Japhetic. We were not in those nations just because we were all dark. You know what I mean? Like, don't be vague with thinking that just because we're all dark skinned that we're all the same. Bob Marley is a white man. He's dark skinned. You understand? Go ahead,
Khan of one Khan, Tapasar, Yahweh has a question.
Okay.
Salakia, sir, can I get a breakdown of 2nd Ezra chapter 2, verse 16 through 24? Then I guess the point of his question was in 2nd Ezra chapter 2, what does milk and honey represent?
2nd Ezra. Somebody read that for me. chapter 2, verse what, 16? All right, go ahead.
This is the book of 2nd Ezra, out of the Apocrypha, chapter 2, verse 16. And those that be dead will I raise up again from their places, and bring them out of their graves. For I have known my name in Israel.
Slakia. That's a precept for what I was just teaching about with life and death. The Lord is going to wake up those who were dead in Israel because He knows who He knows who is the righteous and the wicked. Like Christ said, "You have not chose me, for I have chose you." So Christ know who the Most High has chose, because the Most High gave Christ the men that He wanted to give him. You know what I mean? It's just like, I don't want to go there. That might be too deep. But I'm gonna just say it. Maybe, he that has an ear, let him hear. John the Baptist was Elijah, and Elijah was a man who followed the Most High, but he didn't want to follow Christ. So it's like, just looking at it like this. Hey man, I got a solid nigga right here, but let's see if he ready to follow you. Let's see if he ready for that. So what he did was he sent up John. Bam, John pops up, and he like, ooh, Salaki, 1 second. Hey, shalom on Christ. So he like, let me see if he gonna follow you. And John didn't follow Christ, but he followed the Most High to the T. You understand? He was zealous about following the Most High, but he was the first one that was given the opportunity to follow Christ. So that's how it is. The Most High has given Christ some solid niggas, and now those solid niggas that the Most High had is being tested to see if they solid for Christ. He was giving them. You see what I'm saying? So I forgot the question, Salakia. Oh, keep reading.
Con 1 Con. Verse 17. Fear not, thou mother of the children, for I have chosen thee, saith the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 18. For thy help will I send my servants Esai and Jeremy.
Mm-hmm.
After whose counsel I have sanctified and prepared for thee 12 trees laden with diverse fruits.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 19. And as many fountains flowing with milk and honey, and 7 mighty mountains, whereupon there grow roses and lilies, whereby I will fill thy children with joy.
Milk and honey is a term that's used to mean plentiful and rich and having a lot of, it's a term that's always used for like the land of Israel, because the land of Israel is very resourceful. You know what I'm saying? That's the land that has oil and, all these different resources in it. So milk and honey is just a term used for that. Just like sun and the moon is a term used for wisdom and knowledge. Just like mountains is a term that's used for the governments. You know what I mean? You got to understand that the Bible is spiritual, and the Bible is not talking direct. Like, a Christian would say milk and honey, they'll go in the kitchen and get some milk and honey and put it in a jar and a cup and mix it up and drink it and say, I wonder what the Lord meant. I wonder what was the Lord trying to show me by drinking the milk and the honey. That's not what it's talking. It's just talking about plentiful and, resources and stuff like that. All right. Matthew 15:24 say, what is ISUPK outlook on young men and teenagers cussing, if cussing isn't a sin? Okay, so there's a time and a place for everything. Yes, there is no sin for saying a curse word. You know what I mean? A curse word would be shit, ass, damn. That's not a sin. but you don't use it loosely. You don't just say these words just to say it. You know what I mean? Like, when only time I curse is when I use it as an adjective to describe something so that you can understand how serious it is. Like, I only use the word bitch when I want you to feel the of how you're behaving. I can say you're a woman that's acting out of character. That ain't gonna mean nothing to a black woman. You gotta be like, sis, to be honest, you're really being a bitch. That's gonna hit a sister in the chest like this. Oh my God, I'm being a bitch. You know, you tell a sister that you're being promiscuous. You know, sister, you need to stop being so promiscuous. She's gonna be like, okay, no sweat, sir. I'm sorry for blowing rod today, and I shouldn't have blown rod. Or if you say, you just a hoe. You just a goddamn hoe, and all you do every time you know your legs is open like the highway. Your mouth opens up. See, when you say it like that, you know, then a sister be like, oh my God. Sometimes cursing is needed. And, you know, sometimes it could be used unseasoned. Now, if a teenager is using curse words, you know, teenagers need to shut the hell up and learn. You know, grow up. Now, you know, you outside, you be like, hey, man, that shit live. You know, I mean, it ain't no sin in it, but it's not expedient. It's not, you know, you shouldn't do it. It's not necessary. You know what I mean? But it's not a sin. So you just, you know, if you outside talking to your friends, curse around your friends. Don't curse around adults. That's my advice. I'll say if you gonna curse where there's no adult. When the adult come, you, yes ma'am, yes sir, you know, yes sir, yes ma'am, I'm sorry. I understand, I'm sorry. And then as soon as they go, yeah man, you know, that motherfucker came on here. You know, you can do what you want to do, ain't nobody around. Because there's no sin in it. You're not, you know, committing an act against the Lord. But it's not wise to do everywhere you go. All right.
So like, would that be like a stumbling block precept or something like that?
Yeah, it kind of is a stumbling block, especially if somebody don't understand the truth, don't understand this lifestyle. See, one thing you got to understand is, think about cursing in America. What is the sin? What is the law against cursing in America? Huh? They don't have a law. So why is it such a bad? Why is it bad words?
I guess tradition of man.
Because people say it's bad. You see what I'm saying? So we can take procrastination and exuberant and, you know, and exit and say those are bad words. And you be like, yeah, I had to go out the door. I had to exit out the back. Oh, you know what I mean? It was exuberant. Oh, we can make any word a bad word. You know what I mean? It's not a law against it, so it's not a bad thing. And if everybody accepts that we say exit is a bad word, then every time you say exit, somebody be, hey man, hey, watch how you talk to me. I left. I ain't exit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I left the house. Don't say I exited the house. You know what I'm saying? Watch how you talk. Yeah, it's just a, you know, it's just a word that we make a big deal with. You know, it's really not nothing. Like shit is boo-boo, it's dung. You know what I mean? But I wouldn't say shit all the time to people who don't understand, because I'm a priest. So now I'm out here saying shit, and because they are weak and they don't have the understanding that I have, they will say, see, that's not the spirit of the Lord. The Lord wouldn't say shit. You know, the Lord wouldn't use the word bitch, but they don't understand that Christ called a white woman a dog, which is kalabra in the Hebrew, which means female dog, which means bitch. They don't understand that, and I ain't got time to teach it. So, you know, go ahead, Doc.
Talking about like Colossians 4 and 6. Let your speech be always with grace, seasoned with salt, that ye may know ye ought to answer every man.
That's it. You got to have seasoned words when you talk. You got to be very seasoned when you talk. You know what I'm saying? Just make sure that that nobody can misunderstand what you're saying in their ignorance or in their youth and not understanding what you're saying. You understand? Is there any more questions? I don't see none on Facebook either. All right, with that, we're going to pass class over to Precinct Officer Yeshaya. Give him a hand. Salakia.
We are the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or a sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from their head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 months period, the brother and sister will get permission from their head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers 18:21, Malachi 3:8-10, means tenth in the Hebrew, ma'ashra. 10% of every penny of every increase the Lord gives you give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations. It's going to be the Day of Atonement. No, it's like it. It's going to be a memorial blowing of trumpets. That's going to be Thursday, September the 17th. Leviticus 23:24 through the 25th. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black boots, shirt, pants, headband, or scarf. Then these are the announcements.
With that, imagine, which means to stand. Say the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Like you. I said, Sar, you gonna turn? Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Hayah, Shemka, Yahweh, Malakaka, Saba'ah, Ratazayaka, Hayah, Aisha, Baratazah, Kaya, Hayah, Bashamayim, Latananawa, Lakam, Ko, Wayam, Wasalak Nawa, Kabawaf Nawa, Kasalak Nawa, Kabawaf Yanawa, Wala'ah, Tabaya Ayanawa, Banasaya 1, Abal, Hayashaya Nawa, Mayan, Ra, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Waha Allah, Waha Tapa Ara, La Awalamyam, Aman. In the English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not to temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. So be it. Sar, turn face to front. Courtesy salute from the brothers. Men of Israel, Madam Shabbat. Imagine. Barak. How about Shem Yahushua Bragatha? Yazamata. Sar. Turn face to sisters. Men of Israel, Madam Shabbat. Imagine. Barak. Yahweh Shabbat by Shem Yahushua. Yazamata. Dismiss.